Hello everyone, welcome to Board Game Bits, the show where we talk about weekly board game news. This week, Twilight Imperium gets a roll and write spin-off, Uwe Rosenberg unveils his next project, Oath gets an expansion, Phil Walker Harding launches a environmental-friendly board game publisher, and Pokémon Go cards for the Pokémon trading card game have been revealed. Fantasy Flight Games is working on a Twilight Imperium roll and write game. In a live stream, Fantasy Flight Games has revealed that they are working on a Twilight Imperium roll and write game. This game, which shall be called Twilight Inscription, is based within the Twilight Imperium universe, but will be a different game entirely. According to creator James Niffen, the game will be the biggest roll and write that has ever been made. Now, that may not say that much because roll and write games are traditionally quite small. You can play them in half an hour. But Niffen explains that this will be a 4X roll and write game. If you're not familiar with 4X, it's a type of game that revolves around the 4 X's. The X's being explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. That's 4. Yes. This is traditionally, I believe, was a video game genre first. Take, for example, Age of Empires, that kind of stuff. But it's also quite a popular board game genre. Scythe is loosely a 4X game. And then, of course, you have other conquest games. Twilight Imperium being one of them. In the live stream, they showed us some boards, 4 different boards, on which this exploration, exploitation, where that would take place. It was unclear if these 4 boards were all for one player or if different people get different boards. They pointed out in the live stream that they purposefully didn't reveal too much because it wasn't a reveal just yet. It was just a little teaser. Anyway, if you're excited for a Twilight Imperium board game, give it a little look. Patchwork Creator is working on a new game called Oranienburger Kanal. Uwe Rosenberg, the creator of Patchwork, is working on a new game called Oranienburger Kanal. In that game, you erect industries and shape the infrastructures by building pathways, streets, railways, and canals. This is directly from the site. It is a city building game where the focus is mostly economics. We don't have too many details yet because the game has been freshly announced. Uwe Rosenberg has made a multitude of great games. One of them, my all-time favorite, if someone would ask me this, if someone would have asked me this somewhere between now and 2020, Patchwork, the only game that I modified by replacing coins with buttons. Patchwork is a game where you're trying to fill your blanket with Tetris-style shapes, and the more you manage to fill, the more points you get. But Uwe has also created other all-time favorite games like Agricola, Caverna, and Bonanza. So a veteran board game creator who definitely knows how to make good stuff. Le Havre is also his. Anything that's made by Uwe Rosenberg, you should at least check out, in my opinion. Later Games announces Oath expansion. On the Kickstarter page, collaborator Cole Whirl has announced that Later Games is working on a expansion for Oath. We know next to nothing about this expansion, and I cannot be more clear about this. We only know that they're working on it. It was on the Kickstarter page for Oath, which has closed years ago. Is that true? Has closed, yeah, over a year ago. But they updated they posted an update there with this little information. Oath is a asymmetrical game in which people fight for control over the country. I have not played it, but I heard it is very good. And of course, Later Games is also known for Roots. Ooh, this is a heavy box. Which is also a very well-known and beloved game. And this one I have played and really love. There's also this expansion. Regret doing that later. The Later Games, I don't know if they excel in asymmetrical games, but they are their best-known games. They also had Vast. In fact, they have two versions of Vast, the Crystal Caverns and the Mansions of Madness. Nope, that's something else. Mysterious Mansions, something like that. I have Crystal Caverns. They make games in which everyone is doing something so differently that it's almost like everyone's playing a completely different game. But then you're working against each other anyway and really trying to stop the others from winning, finding a way to win yourself in a way that you can't be stopped, or at least can't be stopped anymore, or at least make some progress. Is really interesting. It's really clever how they make these games. And because of that, Root is very popular. Oath, I hear, is even better, if you can believe that. So I can't wait for this expansion. In fact, I hope I can get a chance to play Oath a couple of times before then. Sushi Go creator launches environmental-friendly board game publisher. Phil Walker Harding, the creator of well-known and beloved board game Sushi Go, has launched a environmental-friendly board game publisher by the name of Joey Games. The publisher will avoid using shrink wrap, excess or unnecessary game components, and also they will compensate for their emissions. You can read, they have other points, but I suggest you just click the link in the description and have a look for yourself. Phil Walker Harding is the creator of Sushi Go, a game where you compete with your opponents at a all-you-can-eat restaurant to have the best buffet of all, because everyone knows sushi is a competitive sport. He also created one of my favorite games, Berenpark, in which you create a zoo that exclusively has bears in a Tetris-style managing game. Both great games, so I can't wait to see what else Phil Walker Harding does. And now, apparently, it's going to be environment-friendly, which is great.